Yeah, it's cool reactions. Yeah, cool reactions. Yeah, give me that cool reaction. Give me that cool reactions. Go home and relax. Cool reactions. Give me that cool reactions. Yeah. Go home and relax it. Cool reactions. That's that cool reaction. Had some technical difficulties. Cool reactions. But I'm back now. Give me that cool like I never left, you hear me? Go home and relax it to the cool reaction. That's that cool reaction. Cool reactions. Give me that cool reaction. You gotta get it right or you get left, you see what I'm saying? Tap, bing, to that cool reactions. Give me that cool reaction. You on cool reactions. Cool. That part right there, without any further ado, we have F.B.I Informant infiltrating the black culture. Let's see what this is about. Let me know in the comment section if you believe it or not. You haven't seen it, but we're about to get to it. Let's go.
In the summer of 1978, I interviewed a man who worked as an informer for the FBI during the 1960s. His name is Dothard Perry, also known as Ed Riggs, also known as Bill Perry, also known as Othello.
How many names? Look at him. Got a cigarette.
The pay was always in cash. Cash, and you would sign a card. It would go like this. A rendezvous or a drop-off point would be picked out either by yourself or the agent. You would meet the agent there. Usually it would be in a vehicle. You get in the vehicle, he would hand you the money. He would tell you first to count the money. He would tell you the amount while you counted it. If the amount was there, he would then bring out a card. On that card would be for the week of such and such. In other words, the week was dated. So-and-so has been paid the amount of. Then you would sign the card, and then the agent would sign the card. The reason for this is that if all of a sudden the IRS became very interested about where you were getting all this extra money from, you could always tell them to go back to the Bureau, and the Bureau would have your cards on file.
I see. Were there such things as bonuses?
Oh, yes.
What were they paid for?
Bonuses were paid for, suppose while you were meeting with, or you were at a meeting with Bobby Seals, Chulai of the Red Army happened to come to the meeting too, which is something which would be a new development. That's bonus time.
In other words, a hot piece of information.
Hot piece, very hot piece.
Let me slow it down. So the interviewer's asking the informer, can you get any bonuses? He said, yeah, absolutely. They're paying, dog. Look, they're paying you guys to inform. And he's going to break it down more, how they get into the organizations, the basketball teams, the religious organizations, whatever. He's in there and he's spying and connecting information. You hear me? Let's go.
Did you ever suffer pangs of conscience?
Quite a few times. Quite a few times. I still suffer pains of conscience. I suffer from the fact that a lot of people trusted me, and I misused that trust.
Woo.
I suffer from the fact that a lot of information that I gave out was the undoing of certain groups or certain people. I suffer from the fact that I'm on the run constantly. I have no real life to speak of.
You have no family life, really? You have a wife?
No, I don't have a wife. I do have a child. I can't see her that often. I have to stay away from them because once I come around, the Bureau shows up and harassment starts.
Listen, this is the information that the people don't want out. He says, I got to stay away from my family because when I do come around, the Bureau shows up and the harassment starts. You hear me? Who wants to live like that? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying? He says, I do have feeling of regret. Let's go. It's a long video.
I have very few close personal friends, no one to really confide in. It's like being on the outside of a glass jar and everything is happening inside the jar, but you're on the outside. You can see it happening, but you can't participate.
Why have you decided to talk to me?
For the simple reason, I think this information should be getting out, should be put out to the public. I think not only black people, but everyone should become aware of what your so-called law enforcement agencies do to so-called enforce the law. Because between you, myself, and the audience, I've seen more felons in law enforcement than I have in prison.
He said he's seen more felons in law enforcement that he saw in prison.
You yourself just got through saying that the BLA was involved in criminal activity. What's wrong with wanting to put them in prison? How would you answer them? I would answer them in this way. First off, we have to understand why they did what they did. But I'm not even gonna go off into that psychological hoo-ha. What I'm gonna say is, when you become just as bad as the people that you go after, then there's nothing gained and a whole lot lost.
Whoa, listen to what he's saying, man. Hey, this video is chopped up. The video's chopped up. He said when you're doing, man, what did he say? When you're doing bad, when you're doing worse things than the dude that you're actually going after. Let me start that back real quick so I can get exactly what he said.
Lot lost.
You also were active in...
Hold on.
You also were active...
Oh, what's going on? Oh. What there?
That is the people that you go after, then there's nothing gained and a whole lot.
There we go. He said if you're just as bad as the people you go after, it's nothing to gain. These people are just as bad as the people they're going after, or worse. He's the FBI informer. He used to be an informant for the FBI. Now he's informing on the FBI. That's what he does. He tells on people. Now he's telling the truth on J. Edgar Hoover and them. Keep going.
Lost.
You also were active in the infiltration of many cultural groups. Before we go into that step by step, how much research and study did the FBI engage in of black culture in the late 60s?
Listen.
A great amount.
Give me an idea.
From the thing is, they have a file on every type of magazine that blacks read. They have a file on the music.
Music?
Music,
wow.
Dance, theater, actors, comedians, you name it, man.
And they would actually study these different...
Yes. Oh, yes,
Listen,
definitely.
they would study
what
these
did
things.
They do with music?
To understand the people, you have to understand the culture.
To understand the people, you have to understand the culture. Wow.
You had a lot of so-called white liberals that were infiltrating the so-called black groups using the information that they had gathered from the studies of blacks.
You mean just to understand the behavior pattern of our people?
Oh yeah, I can, Will Heaton could name out some jams of Miles Davis that I hadn't even heard of. He could name off some books that I hadn't even read pertaining to black culture.
Do you ever see agents actually studying the music of...
Yes, I've seen them going over even video portion of cultural events.
Man, listen to this.
The understanding, like when, you have an organization like Leroy Jones' Black House. You remember that. Okay, Leroy Jones's place, which was done on the thing of tribalism. That's where I first heard the word Kintu, Mantu, Huntu, Hintu. These words of the African continuum. I learned that from an agent. He ran it down to me.
He knew more. He's basically,
They
hold
make
on.
in-depth studies of.
Basically, he's saying, man, look, I learned this from an agent. All these Hindu, Batu, African lingos or names, sorry. He said, I didn't know that. He learned it from an agent. I bet you it was a white agent that he learned it from, right? So they're studying Africans, they're studying your music, they're studying your art, anything they could study to get a grasp on your culture. So when they infiltrate you, they already know what's up. It's not going to be a person who just stands out like a sore thumb. It's a person who looks like you, acts like you, and probably even conversates like you. Keep going.
Personalities of the people they're dealing with too. Culturally, it always helps it's a thing of you can take their culture and use it against them.
How large would you say an extensive collection on our culture would you say the FBI has? Would you rate it as large as a particular library, like the Schomburg Library in Harlem? Or?
I would rate it better.
Oh
I
my
would rate
goodness.
it better, and the fact is that they go into details that we probably would overlook.
He's smoking that cigarette like it's the
Will
last
Eaton
one.
used to meet me in different places.
He's stressed
Will
out.
Eaton, that was one of my supervising agents. There is a certain bar in the Los Angeles area where people into black cultural things met, and Will Eaton used to meet me there. And he would go into very long and tiring conversations with some very articulate brothers about culture, African culture, and Afro-American culture.
Tell me about some of the cultural organizations that you infiltrated and what you did.
PASLA, Mafunde, Watts Writers Workshop, which they had.
The Watts Writers Workshop.
Yes.
Listen.
Watts Writers Workshop, which was one of the oldest established black writers workshop.
That place was burned down.
Yeah.
Hold on. Look. Why do you think the FBI is targeting a writers group? A group of where a group of black writers used to get together and write. The FBI's infiltrating this. They're there. These dudes are peaceful. They're writing whatever they're writing. I'm not sure what they're writing, but they're writing something. It got to be so important that it got the FBI attention. This is like in the 70s or the 60s. I'm not sure when this video is playing, but it's old. But these are the strategies they implement on the black community till to this day. Keep going.
The Bureau had it burned down.
How do you know that?
I know because I participated. I did the arson.
You burned down.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Why did they want it to go?
Whoa. Let me turn that back. Did y'all hear that?
The oldest established black writers workshop.
That place was burned down.
Yeah. The Bureau had it burned down.
How do you know that?
I know because I participated. I did the arson.
Whoa.
You burned down the Watts, right?
Whoa.
Why did they want it to go?
At the time, funding had been cut to the workshop, had been cut out, but it looked like there was a possibility of a grant being given back to the workshop. And if there was no theater, there would be no grant.
How did you do it?
2 cans of kerosene,
Whoa.
Purex bottle, gasoline, and a flare.
This is
flare.
crazy.
Why didn't you use more sophisticated stuff?
Oh, no.
Listen.
You're never overly sophisticated. It's too obvious.
Wow. Never
This way you
overly
make it look
sophisticated.
Like, You know, maybe somebody in the neighborhood that got kicked out of theater at one time got mad and came and burned the damn theater up, that kind of thing.
But you were involved in this theater? I mean, did it get to you at all what you were?
Hey man, that got to me a great deal. I love that theater. I built the stage.
Mm.
You built the stage?
Oh yeah. When I got to the workshop, the stage that had been, the original stage that had been built needed an extension on it. The original part of the stage was in terrible condition. They had no lighting system. I put the lighting system in myself. I put the stage in myself. And that was a stage, man. And that was a theater. It's a nice theater.
Who was the director of that workshop?
Harry Dolan.
Harry Dolan. Some very, very well-known artists supported that workshop, gave money to it.
Some very well-known artists came out of the Watts Writers Workshop.
Mm.
You know, Glenn Tubman, Yaphet Kotto. Sidney Poitier used to come down there and give a class. Sammy Davis Jr. used to come down there.
Whoa, big names.
Quincy Jones used to come there and give music classes. We had our own 8-track studio.
You know what happened with Quincy Jones?
Sound. We had our own sound room there.
Was part of your other activities and responsibilities to study the profiles of celebrities who were supportive of organizations?
Definitely, and especially, like I said, psychological backgrounds, weaknesses and strengths.
Mm.
Did he have a weakness for blondes?
Mm.
Did he have a weakness for money?
Mm.
Did he snort cocaine?
Whoa.
Did he smoke marijuana?
Whoa.
They even get into, and that's one
Whoa.
thing the Bureau loves is their sexual back.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this. Your weaknesses. Do you have a weakness for blondes? Do you have a weakness for smoking? Do you have a does he snort cocaine? These things are weaknesses. Listen how the FBI treats this. If you're doing these type of things, there are weaknesses. They'll put a girl in front of you, a blonde, because it's your weakness. They think, oh my goodness, this is crazy, y'all. You hear me? This is some good learning right here. Go ahead, man. I'm giving you guys some good stuff. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It's your man and not your boy. Let's go.
They have files and files on different blacks, not only celebrities, but a lot of others, sexual activity.
What would they do with this information?
Oh, that's used as a weakness.
So they would feed these weaknesses?
Yes.
Did you see that happen?
Oh, yes. Doc Holliday, who is one of the leaders of the BGF, Black Gorilla Family,
Ooh.
which is a prison gang in the California state prison system.
All this is connected.
Upon his release from prison, a certain sister made herself known to him at a nightclub, whereupon he moved in with her, and she picked up names, telephone numbers, information, you know, that kind of thing. That lasted for a good 3.5 months.
Was this an unusual thing, or did this happen often?
No, that happens all the time.
Did you yourself get involved in doing that?
Yes.
Wow.
Give me an example.
There was a gentleman that was on trial in Los Angeles that belonged to the BLA that had been busted in a southern state for a bank robbery, but was brought with 2 other people to Los Angeles to stand trial for the machine gunning of a police officer in Los Angeles.
Big.
I was supposed to worm my way into the infections of his sister.
Wow.
And whatever it took to get the information that I needed as far as what kind of defense they planned to use as to turn this information over to the federal prosecution.
Did you do it?
I got the information, and thank God I didn't have to go through with the actual thing of sexual activity.
What do you mean, thank God?
Hold on, look at him. And look at him, y'all, look. So he said he has to go into deep cover, right? He went into deep cover, and he said, "Man, I'm glad I didn't have to go to, because man, he was gonna have to smack him. Man, he was gonna have to smack one he didn't want to. Man, these people are the police, man. You never know who is an informant until you're in prison. Let's go."
The sister was rather unappealing.
How did you justify to the organizations in which you had infiltrated yourself that you were living on an $800 a week stipend or on an $800 a week standard of living when most of them were living hand to mouth?
Well, hey, brother, I'm hustling, I mean, hey, man, sell a little of this on the side, a little of that on the side, I get over,
Look,
that kind of thing.
look, he's trying to fit in.
In
Look,
other words, ain't nobody's business but mine where I get the money.
look, he start talking differently, y'all.
Everybody took it for granted that I was possibly doing a little dealing on the side. That kind of thing. Then also, everybody liked me for the simple reason that I would do things that I didn't have to do. I would go out of my way. Like Mafunde would have a pageant and they needed someone to do the sound setup for him, and I'd say, of course, I'll do it for you. That kind of thing. I was very well liked at one time in the community.
He said he was very well liked, y'all.
Would you say to American citizens that this situation of surveillance and infiltration continues to this day?
Oh, yes.
On the dimension that you experienced?
Probably much larger by now.
Oh my goodness, he said much larger.
Let me put it to you like this. Each year, everything gradually escalated up more and more. So I figured when I left, it didn't stop escalating. As they say, one monkey does not stop anybody's show.
One monkey
You
don't
mentioned
stop
Sammy
anybody's
Davis
show.
Jr.,
Wow.
Who at one time, it was reported, gave money to the Black Panther Party, I believe. Were you ever assigned to look into that?
Yes, I was told to try to get as close to Mr. Davis or to anyone in his office as I could. I used to go up and have real chit-chat, chummy conversation with his personal secretary, Ann, at the 9000 building on Sunset. And I used to bring a Portapak video camera, and I used to go around and I would videotape the whole office.
What the?
You mean celebrities would be coming into his office and you'd film them freely?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they question that?
I'm from the Ross Writers Workshop. Yeah, right on, brother. That kind of thing. No questions asked.
No questions. Listen.
Same thing with the NAACP Image Awards. They were very interested in people like Sammy Davis Jr. There was another black in Los Angeles that they were very interested in because, not Los Angeles, but in Sacramento, Nathaniel Colley, who's attorney for the NAACP. And I know Nat. And they wanted information on him.
You want information on anybody,
he's
man.
an attorney for the NAACP, which makes no sense to me, but must make a lot of sense to them because they use the information.
You've been called upon to testify in Washington. Before who?
Before the Senate committee. I was called first to testify before the church committee, and I did go to Washington, D.C. I did testify to those people, and I want to say right now that the committee was full of smack. They got loads and loads of information and didn't even use it, didn't release it. I had tapes that I offered to them in evidence against the Federal Bureau of Investigation with conversations of me and my supervising officer where he's telling me to obtain certain articles for him by stealing. Don't get fingerprints on it. We can really use that. Did you take the weapons over to such and such? The church's committee told me that they couldn't use the tapes because the tapes were gotten by illegal means.
What would you say about the composition of the committee panel that questioned you?
I can say that's for the birds too, because the same people that I was talking about were the same people on the panel with the church's committee.
What do you mean?
When I came in the room to be interviewed by the so-called people from the church's committee, the representatives from the Federal Bureau of Investigations were also in the room.
FBI agents were a member of the church committee panel.
They were there with the investigators for the church's committee asking questions just like the church's committee. And see, this is another thing that I find fault with, and this is another reason why I am not going to Washington, D.C. It's that, again, I have been asked to come again for the second time. I'm not going again. For the simple reason that when I went up there with the idea that there were agencies investigating the Federal Bureau of Investigation, not the Federal Bureau of Investigation investigating itself.
Who do you think investigates the FBI?
You're on the lam, almost.
Hello?
Do you have a sense
Come on, who you think investigates them?
Oh yeah, eventually. Eventually, when things come to a head, it has to. It has to be that way. No other way around it.
What would you say to citizens who sit and listen to what you've said and have a sense of frustration and helplessness?
There are some agents, the old line agents, that disagree with the tactics that were used during the so-called COINTEL period. But one thing I don't want us to jump off of is that people always they're talking about COINTEL now so heavily. I'm not talking about COINTEL. I'm talking about a thing called BD, which was better known as Black Desk. The Black Desk was set up for a simple thing of infiltrating black organizations and black groups, whatever.
Where was this Black Desk, or were there a number of them?
There were a number of Black Desks, but the head Black Desk was in Washington, D.C., controlled by Sullivan. And
Was he black?
No.
And what was the function of the Black Desks all over the country? I guess there were dozens.
The function of the Black Desk was to monitor activity, social unrest, revolutionary groups, cultural groups, and such in the black community.
And feed it into this central desk. And it still exists?
As far as I know, yes.
We've seen a number of investigations into the assassination of Martin Luther King. We've seen an extended police trial of the assassination of Malcolm X. What you seem to say substantiates what many black people say out on the street, that government agents or agencies knew that these assassinations were brewing and either participated in them or allowed them to take place.
It would behoove black people, it would behoove all people, really, to question so-called the cut and dry one lone assassin theory. The Bureau and other intelligence agencies are very good at conspiracies. They are very good at setting people up to be killed. They are very good at making innuendos so the person will be killed.
Oh my goodness.
City police don't know about because they have policemen in there. They don't let black people form anything without some policemen in there. And while I was in the black Muslim movement, over the black Muslim movement, many of the police who were sent to infiltrate us, they're black, would tell me, say, look, I'm a cop, but I have to come. They would tell me. I knew the Muslim movement was full of police. Well, don't you think anything is going down that they don't know about? The only thing that goes down is what they want to go down. And what they don't want to go down, they don't let it go down.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, cool reactions. Yeah. You hear that right there, man. This is Kevin Cooley. This is Cool Reactions, man. I'm giving this to you straight and straightened off the printing press. Ex-FBI Informant talks infiltration of the black community. The black community is being infiltrated as we speak. It could be a podcaster, a religious group that you follow. a basketball team that you play on, anything, a Discord that you're in, understand that the government is there and they're surveilling and they're watching. You know who it is. It's your man and not your boy. If you learned something today, bang and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll be back tomorrow with the same thing, maybe something different. Enjoy. One.